I jumped the gun in that transition before the logo was resolved. Welcome to On the Anvil. This is Dwarven Forge Live, and we're on episode 10. 10?
Yep, 10.
10. Woo! I am Nate, Chief Creative Officer over here at Dwarven Forge, and this is...
I'm Mace. I am the Twitch commander.
And you're also a floating disembodied head right now.
Yeah, I'm a talking head today. David Byrne really inspired me.
All of us. And we are streaming from my basement in the midst of this pandemic. And by basement, I really mean single car garage that we've just stuffed full of a bunch of junk and turned into a workshop. So it's basically just a bunch of cinder blocks. Not the greatest place in the world, but we are doing the greatest stuff in the world. We're playing with all sorts of cool modular terrain. This is the show where we show you behind the curtain here at Dwarven Forge, show some of the creative process, what we're up to, what the latest things are. We answer your questions. We chit-chat with you. We give you the news. What else do we do?
We, we riff and we raff. We update you on the news, and then we have a good time.
That's right. We have a good time. Mostly, we're gonna hang out for 2 hours with you, and kind of see where it goes. So, what else do we need to tell anybody else? And thank you for tuning in. If you're a new viewer, thank you for. We've had so many consistent viewers that have been with us like from day one of Twitch. You know, it's funny when we started this, it was pre-pandemic, and we were gonna be in the Kickstarter right now. Like I thought we were gonna be. This is like, we were going to be doing, this was, On the Anvil was going to be literally in the midst of all the madness, and not quite the case right now, currently. But
yeah, a couple of weeks from now was supposed to be the downtime week, so it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But, thanks for riding out. You've been good companions while the world burns. It's nice to spend some time with everybody, have so many consistent faces in there. We appreciate you coming over and hanging out with us and giving us good questions and egging us on and posting in Discord and I don't know, whatever other fun things you guys are doing.
Doing the stuff.
All the stuff, right? So today we're going to our big topic today is we're going to look at the Aranthor Mountains, and we're also going to look at the waterfall, where we landed on that. First, we have some news, right?
All right. So thank you for tuning in. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. we have this On the Anvil show where Nate kind of gives you a lowdown on the behind-the-scenes stuff. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes it's Nate and I, and, we riff and we raff like we had covered. Besides this week's On the Anvil stream, we also have a stream with hamster painting. We finally have a hamster paint stream again, the Paint Strike. That is Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Very excited to see how that goes.
He's going to be, he's painting ice. Actually, do I have any ice pieces yet?
He's revamping Caverns, not Caverns, sorry, Kickstarter to Ice.
So he's taking some of the KS2 pieces and giving them the paint job from... Wait, I should have gotten a close-up camera. The ice paint job from Caverns Deep on some of the older Caverns pieces. So we'll see what that looks like. It'll be fun.
And then after his game, Stefan's actually running a few games over for Lost Odyssey. They're doing a little benefit for the Treehouse charity for foster kids. First one's going to be May 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern, which, he's in Mountain Time, I think. So, yeah. And then the following one is May 10th at 9 Eastern.
And so this is the culmination. They did this a couple of weeks ago. This is their Champion Series. So this is the finale of that sort of Champion Series. And I know Stefan he said he's something, he wouldn't even tell me. He said he's got something really special planned. This is pretty meaningful to him as both a former orphan and former foster child. It's a pretty meaningful charity to him. So he's going all out. I mean, he always goes all out, but he's really getting fired up for this one. So he has really cool some of the cool stuff planned, and it's a good cause. And the Lost Odyssey people are just like, I love those guys. They really. We did a build for what was it, the Tail Weaver, their kickoff event last November, and we're already talking about what the next one is going to be. Of course, now their timeline is they don't know what they were going to do this really cool Halloween thing, but now it's probably moving and whatever. But we will be lifelong allies with those guys. They really know how to put on a good show and raise money for really good causes and gather together some great people. And they're working on a really cool documentary. I don't know if maybe I'm not allowed to talk about it. I'll ask them. Mace, remind me to ask the Lost Odyssey people if I can talk about what they're up to, because they have a really cool thing that they've been working on. Yeah. So okay, so Stefan's he's got a bunch of games coming up, right? What else?
That's the list that I have. So it's going to be Sunday the 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then the other one we have is May 10th at 9 p.m.
I thought the 7th one was not Lost Odyssey. Was that really?
It's Jasper's Game Day.
Okay, so it's not Lost Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what the Jasper's Game Day is, but I don't know, Stefan, if you're in the chat, let us know what that one's all about. And but the Lost Odyssey one, definitely check that out. That's the 10th. It should be really cool. And it's once again really good cause, and they'll probably have a bunch of fun, ridiculous celebrities playing, and I don't know, could be who knows where it's gonna go. Should be fun. So what else do we have upcoming on the schedule?
So then next week, we actually on Monday will have a build of the month again. This time with Nate and Selena hosting. Selena is the video wizard here. She does all the cool footage, behind the scenes stuff. So normally they do build of the month in the office, but because of the lockdown, they're going to be doing it on the stream live. I'm not allowed to look. So
be in chat. So what's happening? So it's going to be 2 p.m. I think we're going to stream, right? Is that what we said?
Yes, 2 p.m.
So 2 p.m. on Monday. So a week from 2 days ago. That's really clear. And I just lost Mace. Oh man. Well, I'll have to monologue for a sec. I know she's coming. Yeah, my computer just decided to restart. So here, I'll put you on speaker for a sec, and then when it's re-up, we'll get you back. Are you there? Oh, good. That's not working either. Hello? Try calling me like. Now I'm really a one-man show in the basement here. Monday, build of the month. So this is gonna be the second time we've done this. So we do every month we do build of the month, and this will actually be our 13th one. It'll be a whole year anniversary. Let's see if this one works now. All right, can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me? The computer's restarting. It'll be up in a sec. So just talk on speakerphone for a second. Well, I won't even speaker you. Just hang tight for a sec while it restarts. I don't know. It's one of those days. Okay, so Monday, build of the month. It's gonna be our 1 year anniversary. And so last month we did the Psionic Maelstrom, and it was really fun having you guys just throw a bunch of ideas at me as we built. We're gonna do the same thing on Monday. And the reason that I kicked Mace off is we're gonna run. I'm running a game on the 18th, which is the following Monday, and I'm gonna use this build of the month as sort of a warm up for the thing I'm building for that game. So I don't want her to spy and get any of the secrets. So she's playing in that game. So we're gonna be sort of playing with some tricks on a I don't know, something you'll see on Monday. We'll talk about it. And what's super exciting, so besides it's fun to just have your input while we're building, and then you get to see the final build of the month with all the ideas you guys threw in, we're going to do our first bundle deal on this one. So I don't know how, I'm not going to promise anything, but we're trying to bundle in a gift certificate. So it's going to be 3 sets, and if you get the bundle of those 3 sets, you also get a gift certificate on top of it to spend on whatever you want in the store. So we're still working out the details of that, whatever. So because the build of the month won't go live for not like 2 weeks after we shoot it. We're a little behind this month, but anyway, so that's something to look forward to. The build of the month, and then the build of the month itself you'll get to see, and that'll have the bundle deal, and it'll be a fun bit. So we'll see how that pans out. And man, that computer's still, it's like. Well, we're gonna be with that. Maybe, hey Mace, try calling me like on a regular phone call. Not a Slack phone call. I can see if I can get you on speaker. Let's try this. Yeah, the computer's really angry. So then we have next week on Wednesday we've on the Anvil again, and then the following week Monday I'm running a live stream game, which is gonna be really awesome. And here's Mason. Welcome back, co-host. Wait, try talking. Huh? My speakerphone seems to be. Hello? No, maybe it's just low. I don't know. Here, try that. Can you talk to the internet?
Yeah, I can talk to the internet.
All right. So, all right. So we got I got through the upcoming schedule, which I think is. Oh, and then on the 1st of whatever the next month is, June, Tyler's gonna run the next game, next live stream game, and then I'll run one on the 15th of June. So it's gonna be kind of like every 2 weeks we'll have a game going up, and then ideally we're gonna get we'll get Eli in the mix running a game, and Nina's gonna run this game, and maybe Selena will run a game, and Chris is gonna run a game. I don't know. Ideally we have one thing going a week, but we're getting there. It's a little hard with lockdown and all. So what else? What else do we have in the news besides our upcoming schedule?
So besides the schedule, we actually are still promoting the Wormwood Kickstarter that has 7 days left. Already passed $1 million. This is a dice Kickstarter. I think it's the first time they've done dice, and they have a lot of really cool artist collaborations that they've done. And then we also are very big fans of Steamforge, and they are doing a Resident Evil 3 board game Kickstarter right now. It has 6 days left to go, which is nuts. Like, I don't know if anybody in chat's played Resident Evil, like the video game, but wow, what a finger kiss, chef kiss kind of.
What are they at? Like 600, 700K?
It was
like
oh shoot. I don't know because Kickstarter is not loading. Wow, computer problems.
Well, they're kind of like we think of them as like the Dwarven Forge across the pond. Their company is very much the same size as ours, and their sort of creative structure is similar to ours. And I don't know, they came over. They were over here for Toy Fair, and they came by the office and hung out with us for a bunch. And like they're just dynamite. We're big fans of the Steamforge folks, and they've got some really cool stuff in the works. Stuff they were going to unveil at Gen Con. Who knows if that'll be what it is. Anyway, so go check out their Kickstarter too. What else do we have in the news?
So we are also still trying to get people to sign on for that Wildlands page.
Woo!
It is the best way to stay up to date for future Kickstarters. We get questions all the time. When's the new launch date? Do you have any updates? And the best way to know updates is to follow us on social media or to sign up for that page. And I will post a link in the chat. Whoa! That was a fast change.
I had that lined up. Not everything is lined up this week as that photo, but yeah, Wildlands. I don't know. Who knows when? Who knows when we're gonna launch it? Hopefully in the next 2 months it'll go up. Where are we in May, June? Yeah, really would. I don't know. July would be great. See if it'll pull it all off. I don't know. It's really kind of champing at the bit to get back in the office, and I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns here in New York right now, but we will see. We'll keep you posted. So sign up for the mailing list. We'll let you know what's going on. What else? What else do we have in the news?
Other news we have is we are currently still having a social giveaway, which is a castle build on all of our social media. We are giving away a gatehouse for one of the winners. You just take a photo of one of your castle builds, follow the rules on social. You can use Twitter, Facebook. I believe Discord's even involved, but pretty much any social media you use, feel free to enter there. And then if you want, you can join our Facebook page. We are doing another giveaway there once we reach 1,000 followers. We are currently at 963, which is crazy close. And then we're going to be giving away a Dread Hollow Forest prototype signed piece once we get that 1,000. So those prototype pieces are pretty much the best detail that you're going to get on, like, as
they're resin. They're hand painted by Aaron. They're resin. They're awesome. And the castle giveaway. You don't have to make like a giant mega castle. You can, it can be something small. Oh, I should have prepped the Shad Ross sent me a photo of his daughter putting together. She's 2, 1.5. How old's Willow? I don't know, something like. She's really young. She was trying to build a little castle. He's like, I think we got another entry for the castle thing. Like, it doesn't have to be a big, elaborate, crazy thing. You can, just send something. Someone build a castle without any castle pieces. Like, there's like you can. It's relatively loose. So yeah, put up a cool photo and you could win a poster and gate. What else we got going on in the news?
We also today have launched a pre-order on our website. I just posted the link in chat,
Woo!
but now we have pre-order live on the website, so feel free to go and pre-order things if you'd like them.
So yeah, we've been trying this for, I don't know, a couple of years. We finally got something working. We're testing it with 2 sets. So they're just basic. It's the remastered core and the basic caverns set. So we're testing it with these 2 sets, which are actually going to be, I think they're arriving in 2 months or something. We've already ordered a whole bunch, but you can pre-order. You get them before. Because what happens a lot of times is the dungeon, the classic remaster will land and it'll be sold out the day it lands. So you can get your sets ahead of time before they sell out. And then if this works, we're going to do some more. We'll do a wider array of sets. We wanted to kind of test it with just a couple of simple ones first, and we'll do a wider array of sets soon in another pre-order. And it's worth noting that this is our last order of the basic cavern set. So we're going to replace it with we have 3 new Caverns core sets, which we'll rotate that out of stock. We're going to, when those are sold out, that's it. There's no more. And we're retiring a couple of pieces. The original plane, floor A and corner A, I think are going to be retired. Maybe a couple of Caverns pieces also be retired. Essentially, the Caverns Deep flat floor does everything floor A does, but it looks prettier. And we have like 6 corner options, so we're retiring out corner A also. So it's the last chance to get those if you want, or you can wait for the new stuff because we're putting anchor magnets in the bunch of the Caverns Deep. I mean, a bunch of the KS2 stuff for the Caverns core set. Hey, in other news, the computer is about 3/4 of the way through restarting.
Sweet.
So, yeah, it's really upset. I don't know what's going on.
That's my favorite fraction.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And then another update we have regarding the store is we actually have a new piece out. The King Cobra, it has a new paint scheme.
Well, no, it has an old paint. So, what happened was, I don't exactly remember. During the Dungeon of Doom, we had in the Forsaken Temple, we had there's a King Cobra that comes with the shrine wall. There's this big Eli sculpture, this big cobra. It's got kind of like spikes on its hood and it has a crown. That's how you know it's a king. And there was something wrong with the gold paint scheme one, so we got a whole bunch of replacements from the factory. But they also sent the replacements of the standard paint scheme, the one in black. For whatever reason, they've been sitting in the warehouse. So Eric, our operations manager, who came on, I don't know, 4 months ago, 6 months ago, never long. He's been digging through the store and finding all these like weird sort of hidden anomalies, things that are just sort of sitting there. So we're little by little pushing that stuff up onto the website, like the Jade Pillars last week. This King Cobra is now there. We're gonna put in a day or two. We're gonna have the Caverns Deep tote bag and the Die Hard Die D20 custom D20. That little package will be available on the web store, whatever excess of those we have. So yeah, that was fun. What else? So anyway, if you like the pre-order, let us know if the pre-order system is working for you, and we're gonna roll out some more sets, so more options for you soon if it's working.
Yes, and let us know what you'd like to see on upcoming episodes. It's paramount that we have input from you guys. That's the whole reason why we do this show. And then I believe tonight's episode was actually a suggestion, and I think last week's there was a few too, but yeah. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions or any ideas. Nate's always open to hearing them.
Well, like we said, originally this show was conceived while we had a bustling office, and we'd be like, oh, we'll be over at Janet's desk this week shooting this thing, and then we'll go in the production room and see what Selena's doing, and then we'll sit on Nina's desk and pet Momo, and we'll, like, we're just like it is. We'd sort of drift around the office and watch Toby doing crazy mad scientist stuff and all this stuff, and there's no office. We're just in my basement right here now. So I worry that we're gonna, I don't want the content to get stale for you guys. So we're trying to think of ways to keep things lively. So let us know what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of, any ideas you have for the show. Like the idea for today's episode basically started innocently enough as, innocent? I don't know. It's just simple enough as someone said, hey, how do you, I don't really understand how to use Aranthor pieces, or I'd love to see a basic deep dive. And I was like, you know what? We could, I guess a basic deep dive doesn't make sense. I'd like to just see a basic walkthrough. And I realized, we have a bunch of Aranthor stuff coming up in Wildlands, so I was like, it's kind of a perfect opportunity to talk about where the Aranthors came from and then kind of where we're headed, and we might show some beans tonight. We're definitely gonna show some beans tonight, so that'll be kind of fun. So that was a great suggestion. So keep them coming.
I love the story arc of the Bean Slayer becoming like
becoming
the Bean Keeper or the Bean Shower.
And the giveaway, addicted to giveaways.
You're like, you love gambling, but like for other people.
Oh, speaking of giveaways, we're giving away a starter dungeon tonight. Woo! Starter dungeon tonight, around the midway point. So speaking of upcoming episodes, would it be interesting to do you guys want to see the new Caverns core sets that we built, and sort of I could walk through what those compositions are? Not tonight, but as a future episode. Is that something interesting? Throw that in the chat. Okay, I think the computer's officially restarting, and we can have you. We can see your face again.
Wrapped up the part where I need my face in.
Yeah, we can lift your disembodied head back out into the world. You're like a little baby beholder.
Aww.
So let us know. What would your beholder name be? So let us know if that would be an interesting episode. I could show you the new paint scheme on it and whatever. Also, I don't know. This is way off the sort of standard. Is it? We've been doing a bunch of sort of what do we call it? Modular world building for Wildlands and for whatever. Is that like? Is our world building process interesting to you guys? I know it's way off the terrain. It's way off the terrain topic, but I don't know if that's an interesting episode. Let us know, or whatever. If you've got any of this, oh man, the computer totally lied to me. It's not at all. It's like, it's now at 4/5. Is that a good fraction for you too?
That's not as good as 3/4, but 4/5 ain't bad.
All right, we'll take it. It is what it is. Yeah. So what else? Do we have any other news?
Well, a lot of people seem really excited about the Caverns core, so
good.
That's cool. News-wise, I am all out of news, but a few people are actually asking about both Plaguestone and Hellscape updates, or if you have anything that you can show. Maybe we can do that at a midway point.
I have. You know what? I have nothing new. I have nothing new to show. All the paint masters went straight to Erin, so she's got all the paint masters. Because she inspected them, make sure everything was great. So I don't have any new pieces to show. I also don't have any new news past the last. When did we send the last update? Like a week ago? Oh, we didn't even send the Plaguestone update. Didn't even go out yet. Oh man, I need to proof the. We need to see where the point of failure on that one is. Let me write this down. Plaguestone. Oh man, yeah, it's been sitting in my inbox to look at and approve. Stuff is cooking on. I think in theory, stuff is supposed to hit the water this week for Hellscape. But I don't know. I haven't heard that it's actually on the water yet. And then Plaguestone will be after that, whatever. So no new news there. Interesting news is for that. It might be the case. International backers might get stuff faster than domestic backers on Hellscape because of the volume. It's much lower volume, so it'll be faster to get that stuff out from. I don't know. Jay was like, "Yeah, I think that the international stuff might arrive before the other stuff." So that's good news for I don't know, Dice for Hire and DW and Rabbit Burner and I don't know everybody else out there. So yeah, but if we have anything new next week, yeah, keep asking. We'll let you know. Any other news, or should we go look at this waterfall?
Let's get into this waterfall.
All right, so this let's switch around here and go triple mode.
Is your arm getting tired?
Not yet. Oh man, what do I have in my hair? This mic
I was
stand.
gonna say I can just yell if you need me to.
No, I'm gonna put you right by the microphone. Let's see.
Dope.
I'm gonna like lean you against it. This is best practices. Wow. It's totally safe. All right. So we has everybody like? Is there anybody new here that has no idea about this waterfall? Should I do the history of the waterfall, or should I just jump into the news?
Yeah, I think it's important because this is a piece that's changed a lot.
A lot.
So I'd like to see the growth anyway.
Oh man. Okay, I did not prep this. And you. No,
I'm sorry that you asked.
Yeah, I know. Look at this. All right, so the let me see if I saved everything. It's just not wildly organized. So essentially, this, it's interesting too. So I kind of, one of the early episodes of this is on the Anvil. I wanted to look at the waterfall and sort of show people what we're working on. And for whatever reason, this waterfall has been nothing else has gone through as many iterations as this waterfall. So it's been kind of interesting that this has been the one that's captured on this episode. We've seen this whole thing. Like most things go through a couple iterations. We're like at 7 iterations on this thing or something. It's really, I'm at 3 drawers worth of stuff here. So basically the challenge on the waterfall is trying to find something that is why is this so crooked? What's going on here? What's that? All right, what's that off to my side? Oh, it's this. So we're trying to find something that works. What was it? Mutilarity, beauty, and modularity. The beauty.
Yes.
You're trying to find the right mix between beauty and modularity, and it needs to work with the existing pieces, and it needs to be modular and whatnot. So, look at this. Where's the topper for this thing? All right. Well, so this was the very first. It's funny because we've almost come full circle on this thing. This was the very first mock, which is that going to? Something's amiss here. What is that? It's missing a layer. There's supposed to be. Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's okay. So this is the first. It should be bright green. I probably ripped it off to do another thing. I tend to sometimes I cannibalize my mocks. So it started like this thing. The idea was it had a removable foot, so you could use this for a topper to step down or whatnot, and then this was removable and it had a plug. Man, where are all the pieces? It should be easy to find because they're breaking and nothing else is. I don't know. So this could be like a dirt ramp, or it could also just be like a tunnel. But it didn't really have any modularities per se. Like it was kind of could do one thing, and that was it. And it only had one height. Like I don't know where the maybe I did rip the bottom off. I don't know what it is. Anyway, so then that gave way to, where is it? I had this. Yeah, I did not prepare.
Well, to be fair, you had a pretty tricky situation.
You mean my cat pooped in my bed right before I went live? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that.
I almost said sticky, but I wanted to avoid that. But I said it anyway, it turns out.
So I was working on this thing, which gave you some verticality. You could step it back. And then this became a really neat shell for. Do I have a building? Like you could put a building or a gatehouse or something in here and give you some neat ideas. But once again, it didn't have a lot of modularity, but it had good beauty. It had some interesting options, right? And then we went to this whole world of stacking, a whole variety of different stacking blocks. Which I by the way, I love this stacky block idea. Oh, I've got that magnetins. That's right. So it was a variety. The idea was that they were pieces that you could. You could have them split like that. You could stack them on top of each other. You could step one back. If I have you could step them back like this. You could also do them like this. So you get a bunch of different heights. You have a bunch of neat stacking options. You could have one that was more of a slant. Like such as missing its footer. But you get the idea. So you have a more gradual thing. Like yay, I guess. That could stack back and whatever. So these were super cool. The problem was transitioning in and out of the existing forest banks. These basically required so many pieces to actually work with the existing forest banks. I realized these are something. If we go back to the caverns or these are for a different thing. I'm really excited about this geometry, like this little nesting thing that lets them kind of stack in a bunch of ways to get us a bunch of different heights. There's good stuff here. It's just not right for trying to work with the rest of the wilderness pieces. So yeah, put some metal in there. Whatever. I did at least 2 different iterations on the slants of those and so here was the early. Oh man, yeah, I have many iterations of these, right? So there were big ones and.
Did you say that there was 7 different iterations?
Yeah, I think I'm at 7, something like that. I was trying different profiles for like what's the
I know that you are kind of sad about being in the submarine of your garage, but maybe your garage is like your garage startup, like Apple, like this your thing.
Yeah, yeah. Look at all these, man. There's a world of these. And then there was this design that was, it was flat. This preceded this. I forgot about this one. This was like a, right, the spill that could then, it was this one, maybe, right? It's like a curve.
Do you dream about foam carving after doing this all day?
Yeah, sometimes. Usually it's an anxiety, everything. This was neat because you could have like different heights. You could just turn it sideways and different heights, but there was no beauty here. This was pure modularity, right? But this is where the foot came from with this.
It's interesting for sure, though.
Yeah, the process is something. Oh, and then this was figuring out the thing. Then I had, and then basically this got me all back around. And so once again, it came to, well, this all works, but it didn't work with, once again, with the banks, the actual existing banks. It was causing problems. It was not performing the way it should. So then that got us to here. Hey, computer's up. Wait, Mace, you're coming back.
Hey, all right.
Alright, I'm calling you. Hey, answer it.
Okay, I will. I'll answer. Alright, bye.
Bye. Woo.
Hello.
Wow, now you've got power. I can hear you.
I've got power.
Alright, so then that led us to... Uh-oh. Why am I... Is that from you? No? Gone. So that this process led to this thing, which was. Does this make sense? Essentially, very similar to where it started, with same thing, sort of a trickle down thing, but with a footer that then could also. So it's just roughing out geometry. I didn't even bother doing anything. Because you could stack a bunch of these on each other. This one doesn't have the spill up, but you could stack them on each other to do a gradual thing, or you could put them on the top. The idea is they have the leading line is the same, so this contour will line up. See, this contour here lines up with this contour here, lines up with this contour. They're all the same, so you can kind of interchangeably stack the things in any which way, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea was to figure out what this one was the foot. If the foot of this was flat, you could butt banks up against it, right? Because that was a big deal. And then it was all really trying to figure out how to make these work with the banks.
That's seamless.
Yeah, well, it only took 7 iterations.
Rich Baggins says that idea right there. I'd love to see that made.
Well, the good news. I hope it's talking about this one because.
Right, so you can put your banks on here, whatever. But then I was like, you know what? These are essentially the same. Oh, and the idea is you could stack it back. You could double stack back if you wanted. You could put this one on yay. Then if you needed to go up that one extra height, you put this. Put this guy on, or you could put this guy up top. Also, if you wanted to get one more level, well, I'm off the camera. So many levels. Right, so it gave you a bunch of different height options, lots of good beauty, playable space.
I'd say bring it closer to the camera. There you go.
But it was still not like I was like I think I could do one better. So then I was like, well, what if I sort of go back to the original idea and have which one of these? What if I have this thing removable, seamless? Because I was like, well, this thing. Because this essentially the base of this thing is essentially the same. It was just doing different water.
Ooh.
So this is cheaper. Like giving people two different options of this, and one of the this thing is like you can instead of having to buy you could it would let people get cheaper options, cheaper modularity options. / you could then do something interesting with this as a ramp or whatever, put a hole in it, but it wasn't or whatever. I was like, well then. That got us to where we are today, which is this it? Yeah. All right, so actually we got one more iteration before this. Yeah, okay. So then I was like, well, what if this thing was like this, right? It's essentially a frame that you could swap these different bits in, and it plays nice with the rest of our escarpments. Boom. Right, you can put your banks down to the bottom, or you can put them up here and it'll flow to your waterfall, whatever. And then you could also put this one, yeah. I was like, well, we could have some sort of just plain stone insert, right? So you could use the same piece for a couple of gives you some options, right? Some cheaper insert things that you could put in the in this frame, and then this frame can do that same gag where it's like it's fitting around a house or a castle piece or whatever, or some dungeon piece or whatever. But this back was a really weird height, right? So this is 40 millimeters, which is a great height for us. This is 27 or something, which is like a terrible height. We don't have 27 just doesn't play with anything, right? So that led to this version of it, which is exactly the same thing, but it has one floor height bottom. So the idea is this thing, right, in conjunction with this, you get a full 50 millimeter high waterfall. And we can build it into a thing in a sec if you want to see the different heights. Then you can pop out the base and use it like such for if you just want 40 millimeters. You can stack topper or bottomer. We have two. Oh, here's the vertical. I didn't make another base yet. Well, you just have to pretend. Use your brains. Then we have like a vertical version and a gentle slope water. So there'll be two different water versions. Pretend the back of this is the same as the back of this. I didn't get there yet, but so this is like a gentle slope. This is like the vertical drop. This one takes this little guy. If you want more playable space, you can put that little guy in there. So boop. Or maybe put this guy and this guy. So that you get two guys up there fighting or whatever. The other fun bit, this could fit. Over here, this little guy, you could put a mini, you could balance a mini over the gap if you want. Looks pretty neat. And then the solid one, this is what I get so excited about. So then we could do a solid thing. Oh, and I haven't gotten to this yet. This was Eli's, I'll show you this. This is Eli's idea. So then this thing, so we can do a solid insert, something like this, and the fun gag here is, besides having this kind of neat, like, I don't know, crevicey, whatever, and little playable spot here, this has a slot. So you can fit a 32 millimeter, like a Warhammer style base in there also. Whatever, you got some playable space, yada yada. But we make this thing is removable, and we've got ourselves a little hidey hole in there, right? That can go all the way through, because we need like a cool little cave. Where's the
Wow, this is like the most modular option yet, and it's also like stunning. Like the sculpt is not going to be sacrificed for
mutilarity. We got modularity.
Yeah, mutilarity.
Yeah. So this has a little, little hole that goes all the way through, and what you can do is, so this lets you could do the cave behind the waterfall gag. You'd have to use a little bit of imagination, because you'd have to swap it out, but you could be like, oh, you part through there and there's a little cave, whatever. But you could also just use it as cave. You also don't need to use it as a cave. You could just you put the plug in and you can just use it as a crevice. And you can also play with this, can work with the rest of your Aaron Thor pieces, whatever. We'll get to that in a second when we get to the Aaron Thor. So this becomes an interesting little transition piece that you could use in a bunch of whatever. It's trying to make this like a really kind of hidden, so it's like a neat little, I don't know. But so that's where I'm at. So let me show you how this. So reasons why this thing is awesome, right? So I get so many iterations. Let me get. I've totally just muddled them all together too.
While you're sorting, we have a question by Orion Noir.
Ooh, the darkest constellation of them all.
Yeah, it's like a black hole.
Yeah, the Orion Noir.
What will the base be made out of? Will it be a warping nightmare?
No, we're beyond. We've gone to beyond warp speed. We are. We've gotten to the point where the factory can make most of these things without warpage. Granted, if you throw it in your, if you leave it in your hot car, like hanging over a thing, whatever, it'll bend. But it's not gonna be any worse than, like your 8x8 floor or something. It'll be the same height. Oh yeah, so let's show. All right, so I don't even know where to start. There's so many. All right, so we've got so base level. Let's do let's go with the lowest waterfall, right? Let's start at the bottom. You can see me doing this in the pre-roll, which is fun. Does anybody watch the pre-roll? Do people tune in and see that? It's like
oh yeah, I mean, there's tons of people in chat at least, so I assume they're watching.
It's fun. All right, so from this thing, I'm gonna see. What I'm gonna do? Hang on.
Rabbit Burner would like to know if there will be a 2-inch wide just water sculpt that can be used in caverns and dungeons.
Probably not at this juncture, but this thing is 4 inches, so it'll play nice with caverns, particularly. Now that'll have to wait till whatever the next thing is. I believe. I don't know. We'll see. All's in flux. But right now, basically the focus was trying to make stuff that would work really well with the existing wilderness pieces. Like that was the primary. Like a lot of these other things work great with other things, but didn't work with. Although, buckle up for. So the one fun fact is we see this, the banks pieces and the water tiles pieces, they sort of line up at the same. There's sort of the same amount of shore and water. So this will play nicely with your water tiles pieces geometry wise. The paint, the colors are going to be all over the place and whatever. That's it's on you. But like you could theoretically go onto there, or you could have this like spill onto there, or you could. Can I see that? Or you could do a little something like yay. You'll have some options. Like there'll be you could feed this onto there. There'll be some ways to play with this with your water tiles and with your caverns. But primary job was to have it. Let's see, Gerb, like Homestar Gerb. Primary was to have it play with the with our existing wildlands or existing wilderness, right? Expanded wilderness. So base level, this is a 40 millimeter high. We can drop in some banks up here to level it up with the escarpments on either side, and then throw some escarpments on the bottom, and I mean some escarpments. What are these banks at the bottom? Boom, and you got a little. And here's the key part: is like feeding the thing, right? So you needed to have the right height to be fed by whatever's coming in there. So this is terrain tray with our stilts, our 38 millimeter stilts. Throw that on there. Boom, boom. Throw a couple of. Throw a little bank. Throw a little bank. Oh, this is a bent bank. And then. All right. Throw some stilts on these guys. All right, so now you got a. Look at the other thing here. Oh, let's do a real floor. I got a big one.
Finley Shard says a potentially interesting sculpt would be all the trees/branches making a dam across the width. When the actual water gets past it, that could be used at the edge of a water source, and then the players break it, replaced with flowing water. And then you can have some interesting models too.
Yeah, a little dam. Damn, that's a good idea.
All
right, so this is like your. Let's tilt up just a speckle. Can we get and focus? Yes. All right, so like that's your boom. That's base level waterfall. Then we can go up. Oh, and then of course this you could swap out your other if you wanted the steeper little boy. Boop. This little guy can go in there. Boom. Use the same thing. Boom. All right. Bottom. So option one. So then if you want to go up one level, you pop this guy here. Boom. This guy here. Then this lets you put banks up on top of this. Throw everything. Someday I will. I'll pre-build a bunch of this stuff so I can just like fly it in and be like, look, we have. Now, who am I kidding? That's never gonna happen, but it would be nice.
Do you happen to have like an LED light near you as well?
Define. Like I've got
like one of those.
Hundreds
Well,
of LEDs.
I'm interested in seeing the light from behind the cave hole coming out.
Cave hole.
The cave on the waterfall.
Yeah. I can probably find a little something.
All right.
All right, so now I'm just putting 12 millimeter stilts on the bottom. All these to knock everything up to, so it's 50 millimeters elevated. Oh man, I gotta to be repaired. We're definitely using. I don't know why we always have one thing that never glues right. All right, so then everything just went up one level. So this is if you want to use banks on top of your escarpments to get you up. Because I really like the transition from going from escarpment to bank to floor. It's just like just a more gradual, gentle, whatever. So that this gets you same thing. Works. You get two heights very easily. So then, if you want to get really fun, you can then start stacking up. We gotta swap this for that. Let's do this guy for this guy. You can start double layering the waterfalls. So we can put this guy. Right, do we want to put the steep guy first, or let's do this other one. Let's do the steep guy second, because that gives us. So we put the steep guy down at the bottom.
Are you able to angle the camera up a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, moon high. All right, so you can put this guy all the way up, like yay, or you can kick it back an inch to give more playable space up there for that really daring, deadly battle on the edge of the waterfall. Because who doesn't want to do that? Right? Boom, boom, boom. Let's put. I'm up one too many.
Chris would like to know if you think that the waterfall tiles could be translucent so you could pop a light and shine through those.
Yeah, probably. I think that would, yes. So I haven't shown what we're going to transition on the sides here, because that goes into some new Aranthor areas, which we'll look at shortly. I could just, for fun right now, I could put this here. Oh, I need my blocks. I can never have enough elevation blocks in my life.
Yeah, you sing their praises a lot.
I do anything that just can get me up higher. Like, I just want to keep going. I like, verticality. Darn it, I need another.
Long slopes. Nerd Botchery is asking, will DF be making mountain transition banks like the forest transition banks? Would be great for creating mountain rivers and lakes.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get to the mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, this isn't all lining up, but you get the idea. It's brum 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 brum. So you could do something like that. You can go up another, do double height. You could even go triple height if you want, or whatever. But
that looks great.
Got some good beauty. Got some good modularity. Got some good playable space. Put this over here. And then you can put our little thing here. Boop. And then you can also, if you want to swap out, let's say you can reveal the cave gag. Well, let's get your LED behind the cave gag. That's not the cave. There's the cave. So this requires a little imagination. It's not. Oh man, that's the wrong base.
Oh.
I need to make another one of these mocks. You know what? I can. Should we? Oh no, it's gonna be too heavily glued. Well, let's reverse them.
Lots of excitement in the chat about this.
Good.
It's a good move. Good move.
And it's always hard because there's no right, there's no right way to do this, right? There's all these options would all have been a thing. So you have to pretend that that's the water's still flowing or whatever. Or you could do this gag with this or something if you not so great.
I think 7 tries though was worth it, basically.
Yeah, again there. I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool. It'll be sculpted beautifully. Oh, you wanted the light behind there. Where did I put those? Which side goes down? Positive.
Knight of Phoenix says, anyone who buys the waterfall in the Kickstarter gets a free barrel for the mini to go over the falls in.
How crazy is that? Like, can you imagine being a daredevil going over a waterfall in a barrel?
Does that still happen at Niagara Falls?
I don't know. I mean...
Or was that all just a gag and old people are lying to me?
No, I'm sure that happened. I mean, people do all sorts of stupid things. Can you see the light coming out of there?
Oh yeah, a little bit. I see a little green on that rock. Cool.
Yeah, a little something under there. So I think that's everything in Waterfall Town right now. I don't know. There's probably lots of other details on those I could show, but it'd be better once we have sculpts. We can show but these also, there's fun is you're going to be able to do. You can conceivably also put these. You can sandwich this between. If you want to do a furniture, you can also. Can conceptually put these between regular escarpments, or I don't know. People are going to find some interesting ways to play with these things, I think. All right. Any waterfall questions? Or should we go look at the mountains?
We should look at the mountains. I think we have a lot of compliments on the waterfalls. And then we do have a question that's a little bit off topic, but
that's okay. We've never gone on a tangent.
No. This is a strict, tightly run ship. We never go off topic. No. It's from Jesus781. Question: any plans on going back to City Builder and building either tall corners or just the outer perimeter of floors so that we can have vaulted/taller ceilings?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, we're man, I'll tell you, Stefan can't go back to all he talks about is cities. Like that's like he's obsessed in there. But yeah, there's a lot of there's so much that needs to be done in cities, and we've come a long way. That was when it was City Builder was 4 or 5 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago, yeah. So we've come a long way in terms of sculpting capability, design, effects, different LED effects and magnetic things, and I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff we can do in the city. Plus, I mean, there's so much that can be done in the city. So yes, we're going back there. There's a lot of fun things to add there. All right, let's go look at these mountains here. Let me put these guys away. Oh, while we're doing this, let's look at the photo of the week, right? Which this came from Denth, right?
Yes, this came from Denth. It was on Facebook. The caption says, so I am currently working on a build for the game that I'm running today, and I wanted to take the time just to admire something I noticed today while playing with my Dwarven Forge. I was looking at the dungeon bridge and the 4x4 piece and thought, hey, I don't think I see anyone making a cover for the bridge, and it turns out it worked out pretty well. Then, while I was attempting to make the cover, which will need stilts and pegs to hold up the platform, I realized that I only had enough for one cover. Where am I going to get more pegs? Oh crap, the corner pieces that are used for filler would look sick and are perfect.
Boom. So it's
Boom.
so what I liked was it was that was really it's a clever repurposing of pieces in all the sorts of ways that I don't know. I just love this is one of the things that's so cool. So we put these things out there, and then people use them in these fun, unexpected ways, and it's I don't know. It's just I don't know. It tickles me when people come up with these crafty little solves and use stuff, and you know it's also it's a testament to our geometry, right? Like we're setting stuff up to work. You know, we have a lot of sort of standard measurements that we use. I mean, not always. We're all over the place, and stuff isn't always perfectly 100% accurate because it's analog and whatever. But like, there's you know, we take pains to make stuff as interchangeable as possible, and this is a great sample of how we did that with City Builder with those little the pillars and the gargoyle corner pillars and things. It's just it's fun. Nice creativity, sir. Thank you for sharing with us.
Very clever.
Thank you for watching. And submit your photos. We'd love to see. Put stuff up in the official Facebook fan club, or put it on any of our social channels. Or we should have an email address for the show so people can send stuff in. Is that nuts?
No, it's not nuts. And way ahead of you, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got one already?
They could send it to my email if they want to, but we also.
Oh, that's a dangerous. Well, we should have
have
we should have Anvil. We should have Anvil at dwarvenforge.com or something. That like it's just a
Okay.
simple.
I can reach out to Johanna and see what we can do.
Yeah, send your queries. All right, let's.
Can you think of a pretty cool keyword?
Oh, is it giveaway time?
It might be giveaway time. We are at 8:02. That's the halfway mark.
Look at that, we're giving away a
Beautiful starter dungeon.
A starter dungeon.
Man, I wish Hamster were here to do that sweet voiceover thing that he does, but it comes with everything you see. It has treasure. It's got a door.
Red pillars.
It's got everything you need for a treacherous journey underground.
Yeah. It's a great way to start or expand your Dwarven Forge collection. All right, so how about our word of the week? Let's do mutilarity.
Oh.
Wait, modular. Wait, yeah, butilarity. Right? Was it butilarity? How do you even spell that?
Okay. BEAU. TILARITY.
All right, you should type it into the chat once so everybody can see it in writing.
All right. Well, what happens if I win?
Well, then we'll go to the next. We'll have to pull this next.
Dang it. Okay, fine. So that is in chat. Go ahead and enter for a starter dungeon.
All right. So we're gonna look at the Aranthor Mountains. So so a quick walk back down memory lane. The Aranthor Mountains started. It was Kickstarter. Where's that flare coming from? Oh, it's the This was Kickstarter 4. This is we were doing castles, and I was putting together all these castle things, and I was like, we don't have anything cool to put them on, right? You want to have them up, you want to have a moat, you want to do whatever, and I was like, there's nothing to put these castles on. Like, we need things, and I originally was calling them the escarpments, which is funny because we circled around to that like 3 years later. These were the escarpments, but so like we need a thing, whatever. So I started sketching out. The basic building blocks of doing cliffs, and I was messing around. I was playing with it. It was your early foam mocks, right? And I was like figuring it out. And the thing that was killing me was we had. I'll just pretend these were it. So I was trying to make like these cliffs, and where's my center? I should have had. Where's my light? What is going? Oh, I forgot. I'm supposed to have another light over here. Aha! That's why it's so dark. I'm like. Oh boy, I need to mask that. But well, we'll make belief with the train trays.
Also, not to, be one of those guys, but I think
Oh
you
no.
were missing one waterfall prototype, which was just a terrain tray on its
Oh yeah,
end.
you remember that? That was yeah. I did that early mock stage, right? I had a vertical. I just had a terrain tray vertical, like
Yeah, I didn't want to
this.
make you feel bad for forgetting one, but I think that one stood out pretty well in my mind.
Yeah. Well, there were some neat things you could do with a vertical. You could put magnets on it. That was it. But that was it. All right. So the big thing was I was like, it was really annoying to have to have where is this? Have to have a sculpt A and a sculpt B for I wanted these swells, right? I needed organic swells, and at some point I was maybe showing it to Eli or Toby or Nina. One of them I was like, I was like, we realized so traditionally we always had, the dead side on our stuff is usually on the bottom, right? This is a piece and the dead side's in the bottom, and so I was like, just sort of that design assumption was baked in. I'm like, oh yeah, this will be, the dead side will be the bottom, and then with these things. Then I was like, wait a second, if they change the dead side, then you can do stuff like this piece can become either way. Like if this side is in play, then it means we can just eliminate that piece. We don't have to have multiple options for thing. You can just reverse them. So that was sort of the big kind of eureka, was putting the dead side on on a vertical side instead of the side that goes on the bottom. And I think that's one of the things that might trip people up with these pieces. So we have kind of three categories of pieces, four categories of pieces. So there's some pretty straightforward pieces. The elevation block and the half elevation block, right? And so these are just good solid building block, big cube. You use them for everything. Half cube, like they help you lift things up. They're big chunky blocks. You can do everything with. These are great, simple to understand. Like they harken back to the caverns elevation block. This is just like, I don't know. There's something about a big old block. Right? So those are the base. And then we also have the very simple, or not so simple. Right? We have two floor pieces in that set: the 8x and the 4x. But the neat thing, so I was playing with when I was originally playing with geometry. I was like, I want to go vertical. Like this stuff wants to go up, and I want to do a thing. And I was like putting these on elevation blocks to get the next level in. But it was like, I was like, it's gonna be really expensive. It's like you're burying like, I don't know, $12 or $16 or something worth of sculpts to get that thing up there. There's got to be a better way. And then we just done City Builder. We have these corner posts. I was like, you know what? If we put holes in the bottom of these things, you can put your City Builder corner posts in there and elevate stuff up with, much cheaper, easier bits. So booms, and then you would dress it. So if you're doing that, you put boom, and you would never see the City Builder posts. And I was like, well, maybe we could do a stone post at some point or whatever, but we've never done that because I don't know. Maybe we'll. Probably don't need to because people generally have so many other corner posts. But then the interesting byproduct of that was, if you want, you could put like your City Builder pieces into your. So you could like bake a kind of like bake a piece into a mountain or something.
Ooh,
Yeah, I don't know.
is
I've
that
never.
cool?
So I want to see somebody put something up on Facebook, or do actually use this in application. And on the big one, we actually put these are the holes for the, what is it? These holes are for the double corner post. So you can literally surround this whole thing with City Builder walls. And then there's one hole in the middle. So because this thing will sag if you just put corner posts around there and nothing else. So you can put a corner post in the middle and then corner posts all around if you want to loft this thing up. So the floor. So these were the kind of relatively simple pieces, the blocks and floor. So I don't know if everybody knows about why these holes were in there. Now you know.
They call it mutable.
Yeah.
Speaking of, don't forget to enter in the giveaway. We're going to be rolling it soon. Utility is the word. U.S. only.
That should be our word next week. Is U.S. only.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fun little trick with the floors. So we got our floors, we got our blocks. Oh, so then we have our scatter pieces, which and I guess I forgot about that thing. These are some of the most useful by far in the whole set. Oh, I forgot these guys are we have the ledge. We have this little ledge, which is mostly if you're going up one floor's height, like if you have, for some reason, if you're building, let's say, man, I can't stay in the center of the camera for some reason. I think I have it aimed in a weird place. I'm like,
it's your chaos.
yeah, I want to be here. No, that's too, I don't know. Well, I'm going to do this. You know, in the olden days, Selena was here, just not here, but we were in the office and Selena was there operating the camera, so she would just track me and figure it out. So if you wanted to do something like this, you'd use these little ledges you could use them to mask that change in elevation. You can also use them for negative space builds. You can also put them on their sides if you want to do a thing. Like these little ledges are very useful little guys. I find in general, like these little fiddly bits like this end up being I don't know, they're just little MVP pieces. Fiddly Shards needs to change his name to Fiddly Shards. He could be like the little usable piece that we use all the time.
That sounds like not a nice thing, though.
Yeah. Yo, Fiddly Shards, you. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call him that.
Fiddly. No. Alright, so this guy is part of the floor. So then we got our scatter pieces, right? So it's these four guys, and these are, once again, this is dead sides on the bottom, so these are all still traditional. These two guys are the MVP pieces. It's so basically what was the idea here is everything is kind of blocky with the inventory. So these were to break up the blockiness a little bit. They're really good for just doing, if you want to just do scatter, break up some line of sight, whatever. You can make these little clumps and whatever, get you quick little instant line of sight breakers. If you're doing a build that's feeling blocky, it's so blocky, you can use these to.
I like that voice.
Right, that's the
it's so blocky.
That's the inner critic voice.
This is goody.
And the core design conceit behind these was that there was like a 90 degree. The back of them is 90 degrees, so that you can do, you can put them in. If you got a corner, you can use them. In a corner, you can use. You can use 4 of them back to back. You can put them up against, if you have a wall, something you can put them up against the wall. You kind of always had some flat sides that you could put stuff together, and you could sort of mix and match. So you could have like the big guy, the little guy, and do like a. So this guy and this guy and this guy were designed so that they could sit really nicely on top of each other. They also have, let's see if I get there's little notches in here. This is a Stefano trick. He put these little notches in there so that you could hold the base of minis if you had, I don't know if it works with the bigger, it doesn't work with the bigger bases. It only works with like the non-base, like these little thin base guys. You can kind of.
That's what white stick is for, though. So.
Yeah, but there's these secret little notches also, and this one is kind of cleverly. There's a flat, like even though there's all these bits, it's like a flat bit built up there out of these little stones. There's some Eli magic. Eli really was into the stones of this. He'd spent a bunch of time in Wales, and there were these big limestone cliffs, and so he was really channeling all this his whaliness. I guess it's Welshness, right? Whatever.
Welshian.
Whaliness. This guy.
Wait. Can I get a drum roll? All right. So let's do the giveaway. the Dark Complex.
Woo! The Dark
Woo!
Complex.
Congrats.
Welcome, Dark Complex.
Also, I'm going to sample that now for my band.
The Dark Complex. Yeah.
No, your drum roll.
Oh, it's pretty sick, right?
Yeah.
I was working my paradiddles. So this guy also has the little notches. You can stick a dude there, and there's a notch here. I don't know if anybody ever actually has used them in play, but they're there. And this guy, interestingly enough, so the idea of this was it was supposed to be at Mountain Peak, and Stefan did this very kind of fantasy thing on this one, where it's just sort of, it doesn't really make sense. There's not a logic to, like, everything else is very grounded in reality, and this is like, who knows why the heck it's doing this. So it looks cool, but it's not, it's unnatural. But this was actually the genesis. So like we sort of have this geometry built into Aranthors. So as we're expanding Aranthors in Wildlands, I was like, well, we need to keep that spiky vertical thing. I'm gonna sneeze.
Oh,
not?
well,
No?
preemptive bless you.
Thank you. Oh, gee.
Oh, God bless. Wow. Biggie.
Oh, I just took a year off my life. So I was like, I don't know, we have this thing, and I was like, but there's no logic. Where's the stone logic? And thus the Wyvernium, the Wyver Stone, was born, of like finding a way to do a thing. Well, let's hang a lantern on it, make it like a cool, it's like a weird obsidian-y sort of thing that whatever. And so now we have this cool spiky stone that's in the thing that can give us an excuse to do these cool, because it looks cool and it looks dramatic and it's fantasy, and so we pushed it, but it stemmed from this thing. So anyway, so we got and then there's this thing which was this was the first DF tree attempt. It's not quite where it needs to be, but it was a learning process and learning on how it could be cast, and paved the way for further trees down the line. What I've actually done on a bunch of these, because it's such a weirdly specific thing, is I've actually ripped the tree out. It's pretty easy to pop it out. It's glued on, and then it gives you another alternate. If you have a whole bunch of these, because they're very distinct, it gives you another alternate scatter stone. So anyway, so these things are, particularly this guy, I use this thing all over the place, and that's one of the things why the Aranthor set is so good, is because it works on water tiles, it works against your castle, it works in the forest, it works in the caverns, it works. I mean, you can put them in the dungeon as rubble. Like they were just like these wonderfully plain stones, like this stuff. Like you can use these things everywhere. Like you can build caves out of them. You can build mountains. You can build ravines. You can build dirt patches. You can build it's just it's probably the most universal set. I mean, obviously dungeons you use all the time because you're in dungeons a lot. But in terms of just what you could raw material for building stuff, the Aranthor pieces are just like, I don't know. They're an all-star. They're unparalleled in the ability to just sort of play with anything, and work in so many different places. Oh, this guy's got the little notch too.
Would you say that the 10 by 10 can be used for a cavern large floor piece? Says Yak666.
It's an 8 by 8, and yes, absolutely.
All right.
And you could actually, if you want to get ambitious, you could take I have one here somewhere. You could take an unpainted one and paint it caverns, and it should work pretty nicely. And these are great if you want to put some rock formations in your caves, or leading up to your caves, or like do part of the cave, or you can intermix them with caves, or they're just they work for everything. And because they don't have floors, we'll get to the cliffs in a sec. You can do sea cliffs, you can do cave inside cliffs. They're like, just do everything. It's good to it's a very, very, it's our most versatile set in the world, which is why we're gonna have pre-order for it soon. Don't quote me on it. Well, I do quote me on it, but I don't know about the soon. I guess we'll see. What did Dice for Hire said everything that DF is doing is always soon. It's just the definition of soon that changes, or something to that measure. I was like, yeah, that's.
What is time though?
It's liquid. It's like
AK
clay.
Yeti would like to know: will there potentially be mountains in Wildlands, or should I just get Aranthor if I want some mountain stuff?
Both. So there will be. And we'll get to that. That's where we're headed right now. There's going to be mountains in Wildlands, but that's not going to ship for a year. And it'll ship maybe like a year from now, or 13 months from now, or whatever, depending on exactly when we launch. So in the meantime, get yourself to Iron Mountains because it's like, you can't use this set enough. Like it goes all over the place. Anyway, so let's go finish walking through the rest of the pieces, and then we'll show how to use them, and then we'll show how that's leading into the new stuff. So finally we have this sort of the cliff pieces proper. I did not turn my phone on silent. Who is?
It's probably because you had to call me.
Yeah. Got this guy. I got this guy. I got this guy. I got this guy. I got this guy. Wow, we got a lot. So we have the kind of, these are the 5 core building blocks. And then we got these 2 specialties. Oh, 3 specialty pieces. I forgot we made a right and left. Oh, no. Did I get everything? Yes. Man, I can't say how much I love these really useful boxes. They really live up to their name. Really useful drawers. Especially this one that has dividers in there for all the it's like all the iron thread you could ever want.
Yeah, they're a fine organization system.
Well, we're getting there. Yeah. Well, what I like about them is I can remove the drawer. I can label the drawer, remove it, pop it out, do a build with it, and pop it back in. Like being able to remove it and carry it over where I need to build, and then put it back, or throw it up on the workbench and then put it down. It's like best. I'm filling this place up with as many really useful drawers as I can, and they're British, like Finley shards. Oh no. Yeah.
And Rabbit Burner, who is going to bed now.
Oh, good night, Rabbit. Here he is. Good night, Rabbit. Good night, Daddy.
I would like to hear what English people think of the accents that we do.
Yeah.
Or maybe I don't.
No, probably not. All right, so the cliff piece is proper. So the reason I think maybe it throws some people initially is that the dead side is on one of the vertical sides, not on the bottom. Not to say you can't use I've seen people use these pieces up on end, and it's fine. Like you can use them on end also. There's no wrong way, but they're designed. This sort of the primary design is that you use them to kind of build out a cliff or generally against a thing or whatever. You're kind of making, they're kind of a facade or whatever. The back is dead, and then you're building out your cliff, however, wherever you want to go with it, right? And you have two different corner options. I don't know why I can't hit the center of the frame. You get the little guy, the big guy. I originally made a big one, but it was one day. You have the concave corner here, and one of my regrets is not making these guys fit better. They sort of do, but it should have been like a perfect. We're really close, and it's not. They don't quite fit, because that would have been neat if you could make a full elevation block out of the 2 halves. But and then there's the swell and the straight. So you can use the swell for if you want to do a straight run and have some variation into it, because it gets kind of boring quickly. And they're just kind of generally I don't know, I'm dressing around a thing down a floor, I'll put build around it. It's a good video. You might have to hunt for it. The Kobold Cove build in the month. I did a fun Aranthor build in there with I think it's 1 full Aranthor set, and a couple of terrain.
Found it.
Wow, slow down.
I know. I'm hacking in the system, man.
Yeah. You put these guys in the corner.
So I'm gonna go ahead and ask a question, but we did get a request for Aussie accents, and I'm gonna go ahead and dip out of that one. But feel free for you got it. And can you show us an example of how to build a large cave entrance if possible? Asks Nerd Debauchery.
Yes, we will get there in a sec.
Not an accent.
I would say Aussie is what is it? Throw shrimp on the barbie, mate.
There you go.
That's not a knife. This is a knife. I don't know what else it's a dingo. It's a That's a bit of a Frisky-dingo, it is.
Ooh, wonderful. All
Yeah.
right. I think
You ever see
I think
Frisky-dingo?
we've proven.
I've proven we've run that one into the ground. So in the last 2 or 4 pieces, really, we have this this little cave entrance piece, which the idea is there's the little plug, so you can use it as a solid wall if you want, or it can be a secret door, or it can be an entrance. You can also use this. This is kind of a neat little, if you want to do like a little cantilever ledge or something, you can do that with that, or step up. Thing like such, you can also do it. It's kind of, it's almost too clean, but this thing will show. I'll do a proper cave entrance shortly, but you can do this. This is the easy gag with this one is just put it up on a thing to do like a bit like that. And this is also you can do really nicely under. Little cave entrance here.
Dice for Hire says
Hey,
you
Dice.
need Japanese black bricks for your builds. Instant elevation.
Wait. What are Japanese black bricks? I mean, they already have a cool name.
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? I need to know more.
You want me to hack the system for that?
Yeah, reroute the encryptions on the mainframe and see what you can find.
I'm in. Okay. They are made out of rubber.
Okay.
They look heavy.
Yeah.
But I will send links to you. They do look promising.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have foam options as well.
Well, Dice is in Japan, so it's probably like local, easy for him. Or maybe we kick this back a level because it's too flat, and then put some of these guys over here. Here's a little entrance. Oh, and let's put your where did I put your glowing? Did I put it away already? Jeez, who am I?
Come on now, yeah. You're not the type to.
Momentary lapse there. It's getting cleaning up midway through.
Nah, we have to have a light show, man.
Yeah.
I need it. A rave in the cave.
Best kind. There we go. Little color cave. And then the last 2 pieces we have are these ramp pieces, and the idea is that they have one. It was kind of a waste to make 2 of essentially the same piece, but I don't know, you learn some. So the idea is there's one smooth side and one kind of jaggy side, so that you could put the smooth side up against your like sort of existing wall, and this could be the outside thing, or you could put 2 of them together to make like a cool ramp going up to your drawbridge. That was kind of the big thing, was we wanted something that the drawbridge could drop down onto. And I regret not making a more organic way up. This was like super. This is like to go up to your castle, but yeah, it's really. I guess the one big flaw with the existing Iron Throw pieces, there's not like a really good. There's not a good sort of gentle transition up. You got these kind of stiff ramps, or you could do this guy. Or you could also flip this on its side if you want, and uses that as a way to get up. Or this, you can step up with this thing, which isn't so bad.
Whoa, Reaper Miniatures giving out a ton of subs.
Reaper's here?
Yeah.
Hey! How are those guys doing?
Sub Talon would like to know if you can put in a mini for scale.
Wait, does Sub Talon not have any Iron Throw pieces? Like, how is that even possible? Sub Talon, you've been collecting Dwarven Forge for like 40 years, but before Dwarven Forge even existed.
I really want to make a Easter steam with this. I don't know why. I think my youth is just...
Yeah, youth.
My youth.
Let's get a little higher.
Like nativity, but for Easter, which is not a thing.
You could make it a thing. You could pioneer Who is it? Is it? I think it's Nina's mom that makes Christmas villages with the.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
It's amazing. There's a big. Now that's a big cave entrance for you. How's that? You could put a dragon in it.
I'd live there.
Park your dragon in there. You could do this if you want to go up, do a thing, something like such. All right, so now let's see. Does that sort of explain all the basics of the Arnthor and how we kind of got here? Can we go into the future? Are there more questions before we start bean spilling? You know what I desperately need to do? I need to take 30 seconds to go get a glass of water because I somehow misplaced my water and I'm dying.
What about your special flesh apples?
Red flesh apples. Yeah.
The rare French flesh.
See if there's any questions, and I'll be back.
All right. People ask questions. I am your host now. I'm your entertainment for the night. Remember to tip your bartenders and 2 drink maximum, also 2 drink minimum. So be sure to, get those pints back. I don't know how far Nate is from a source of water, but I don't know. I guess I'll just, how do you tip? You can tip by just giving us comments. We live off of comments and questions. We just need interaction. We are so lonely and desperate for attention. It's insane. We are like an only child over here, and both of our parents are at work. We need attention.
What did I miss?
Nothing. Welcome back.
All right, well, I got water and cider.
They were asking how they tipped, and I'm just trying to fill the silence.
I don't know. So, are there any questions about the basics before we look at something's burning?
It's probably one of the lights. Nerd Botchery says, just want to know real quick about how Mountain transitions if they are coming out.
Hang on, this is...
Wow, this is a tech tough day.
Oh, here it is. Oh. Just gonna turn that off. Wow, I got liquid Gorilla Tape over here.
Oh.
Alright, so... It's the film, those film years where you smell something burning on set. You're like, wait, we have to find this because it means something is burning. And yeah, sure enough, I was about to, All right, so what was the, hit me again.
Okay, yep. So, just want to know real quick about Mountain transitions if they are coming, says Nerd Botchery.
Define, like, what sort of mountain transitions? There's stuff, but, like, what do you, where would you like to go?
While he's responding, Dab1800 says, is there a natural stone column?
A natural stone column? I mean, you could use, like, for what, like, what sort of natural stone column? Are we talking about in Wildlands? Or are we talking about thing and what, there isn't like a cool crazy pillar but there's stuff that you could use sort of like that. Here's an already existing transition. Okay, so I should just briefly show the escarpments, right? Because this was another. So, in Caverns Deep, we premiered the Dread Hollow Forest, and part of that were these escarpment pieces. And so these things, these things are, that is a beefy, this is a boy. I should turn this so you can see. I realize you can't see anything, can you?
Oh, I'm watching the stream though.
Oh,
also.
fine.
But I appreciate it.
Now you can't really see anything, but whatever. All right, there you go. So these, and we only made 3 of them. There were more slated, but there were just too many pieces of Caverns Deep. So we have a, man, I cannot get stuff into the frame. We have a big straight, we have a concave, and we have a convex. Play so nicely together. And one we designed these two. They're very similar to the Aranthors, like very similar limestone base, and they go up to the same height so that you can, one transition already sort of existing is you can put your Aranthor floors up against these, and then you can kind of build up and around these pieces. The stones play. You can also put your Aranthor pieces right in the Dread Hollow pieces. But there's one existing. You can kind of build. You can go right from Dread Hollow into Dread Hollow escarpments into Aranthor. But yeah, what let us know what kind of transitions you're dreaming of.
Nerd Botchery would like to know about mountain and water transitions.
Yes, we will get to that. I promise.
All right.
Yeah. What else?
We also have a question.
The challenge with the Aranthor and the escarpments is the 3-inch base unit. These are 6 inches and 3 inches, and these are a 2-inch base unit, right? So this is an 8 and a 4. But it's you can work around it. / we'll have a 2x1 floor and whatnot coming. We got some floors, a 2x2, a 2x1. We'll have some more mountain fun for you.
Zaneko 2 would like to know, when storing 6x6 tiles from DH, any concerns about storing them on edge vertically, Dread Hollow?
Hang on, you went into like crazy robot mode there.
What? Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Final form. Zaneko 2 would like to know if, when storing 6x6 tiles from Dread Hollow, are there any concerns about storing them on their edge vertically?
I don't think so. I think they should be okay. I mean, I literally just throw them in a big plastic bin, and they tend to be okay. But you mean like just storing them like this? I think so. Why don't you try it and let me know how it works out? You could. I think they should be okay. I mean, they might. Worst case, if it warps a little bit, you either do the hot water thing, or just sit it out flat for a couple of days, and it should drop back to its shape. Here's another thing you can do. You can take your. This light was nice though. Let me see if I can turn it. Give a little extra fill. Hold on. You can another transition. You can kind of use your Aranthor floors and these banks to transition up and again and whatever the existing bits. All right. Should we talk about the new stuff yet, or are there any other questions about the existing mountain bits? Oh, and there's a video. I did a compatibility video during Caverns Deep. You've got the link, right, Mace? It's the Aranthors and
I got the link.
Yeah, Aranthor and escarpment compatibility.
Link is posted. Gray Raven tuned in and would like to know, any new beans?
No, but you're just in time. All right, let's look at the new stuff. So going into Wildlands, we're like, well, one of the major zones has got to be mountains, right? This is that we've already got some really good mountain stuff. There's tons of room to do more in that space. Tons of room to do some more, wilderness 3x3 base bits. There's so many good things happen in mountains, right? The big mountain pass, the crazy cliff, half the Lord of the Rings, they're just sort of running around the mountains. So it's you gotta be in the mountains. The first thing we were looking at was the escarpments, right? So like, we already had these 3 escarpment pieces, which were a great start, but far from perfect, and there were a lot of things that are missing. We needed a shorter thing. I was really annoyed in the end that I'd put a stupid tree in this one straight, because I just want to use the straight all the time, and then I just get all these trees, and it's like, it's killing me. I wish they were kind of all smooth topped whatever. But the other thing that kind of irked me was doing river stuff with them, right? Like I wanted to be able to go. I wanted to go down to the river, and the hard edge kills me. So I was like, well, you can put it in the bank, but it then was like, it wasn't like that crazy the winding canyon river. It was like there was too much shore. Whatever. So this is our first big. Let's look at this thing. So the first big thing we did for. I pulled this out. Where did I put it? Oh, here. So for Wildlands, this the first kind of big. I don't know. The big revelation was that we could take escarpment pieces, like this is our essentially your standard issue escarpment pieces, and we could make them into trifecta pieces, right? So you could wait for the crowd. Dude, that's awesome. Come on, that's it. So you could use it. Right? Is chat exploding? They should.
Yeah, chat's they're going crazy. They're all saying "Wow!"
Yeah. I mean, we need to make a whole new.
Sounds like a concert over here in chat.
Right,
it's insane.
right. Okay.
They want an encore.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. We need like a special emoji for the just because they're going so crazy. So the idea was I wanted to be able to go. I wanted to be able to go down to the water, so you could do the crazy boat through the channel, and then but also do stuff in line and whatever. And what what this did besides, so it gave us a couple of things. One, it let us go down to the water. Yay, that's awesome, right? Two, it gave us these pieces, which you could then pop off, could become negative space pieces, right? So we could do some real thin bank bits. Like these banks are fantastic, but they cover a lot of real estate, right? There's something really nice about. They're saying how the fiddly shods here, these little guys. So these thin banks, you could put them in a lot of places that you couldn't put the bigger ones, and they'll also be cheaper and yada yada. So bank things. The other thing it made possible was I was like, you know what, I want to be able to go to different environments with these, right? So the challenge was like this. The base of this is like, this is very clearly a forest thing, and you can like slam your mountain floor up against it, but it like they're from different worlds, right? With this thing, this is a small cheap piece. This is a big expensive piece. You could then make this piece fit with, if you could have a mountain bottom and a forest bottom. These things are cheap, and it lets you pop this up against, you could have a bunch of different environments that you throw these same cliff pieces against, and for relatively cheap, not having to make people buy a bunch of different, like, here's a forest cliff, here's a mountains cliff, here's a, I don't know, that's all we got. But and then speaking of the transition pieces, it would let us we can do some cool mountain ledges, and we can do some forest ledges, and it gives you all sorts of fun ledge possibilities, a lot of ways to make this work. Trifecta magic and stuff. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
Are they using that special emoji? We need
yeah,
the excitement
they're
emoji.
Crazy.
Oh, this is nuts. There's more. Okay. So also, this lets you go up one layer higher. You can take it to 11. So now you could also just place this directly down on your floor piece. Or let's say, one of the things that we're embracing more and more is there's people out there who don't want to have a whole giant table covered with sculpted terrain. I know it's crazy, but so they're like, if you just want to do some scatter bits, you've got a battle mat, or you've got a really nice neoprene mat you use for your war games or whatever. You just want to put some stuff down there. This lets you can put this now like right on your battle mat. You could have a couple of pieces, bum, 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 and then you can make a cool little freestanding war game style mounds or whatever right on your battle mat, or RPG style cliffs or whatever right on your battle mat. You can also do them on your existing floors. You can put them in any of your negative space. You can put your, maybe you want to have you have a cliff. You have a cliff going down to your lava. You can do that. Whoa! Maybe you want to have a. Ooh, let's have a necrotic sludge. You can put your whatever. You got all the the world is your oyster now. You can put anything you want. So this was like breaking the floor off this thing was a game changer. It just suddenly lets these do so many different things. So and then the other thing was that having a flat top so you could stack, because you want to be able to go. One of the challenges with the existing ones is it's hard to go up a couple levels straight in a row. So I wanted to be able to go up a couple levels pretty seamlessly. I wanted to be able to go down a couple different heights seamlessly. So it's this gives me, I can do, this is 62 millimeters or this is 50 millimeters. I can go up against a forest. I can go up against a mountain. I can go against whoever. So that's sort of our core idea, is that the escarpments in Wildlands would be trifecta based escarpments. So they would have these ledges, which means that we're making those new basic pieces. We're making new ones. So there will be, and I think I'm hoping that my thought was, well, I love this piece. I have a bunch of it, but it's really, it gets so repetitive with these things that people probably might get excited to have another straight option. And actually, I think it was his name. I can hear it.
Actually, I will say in chat, it started to get kind of weird, where they're like, "Take it off your tiles. Show me your tiles." And I will say that Screaming Beans sounds so much like Screaming Beads, and we're just like the New Orleans of gaming. It's awesome. Yeah. Love it. Party gras. Let's go.
Party gras. I learned so many new terms here. Like, what did I learn? Edgelord yesterday. That's a good one.
Oh, yes.
It's a terrible one. So actually, I think this is the final version of it. It was more stackable for vertical. It has an outcropping. It's whatever. But anyway, so there'll be a variation on straight, which will be really fun, because we need some straight variation. It's killing me there, as well as there will be the shorty, the 3-incher, which is just desperately needed. So you can, because right now you've got 6 inches or nothing, and it limits your building. And of course, this guy will have the trifecta ledge, and this is going to be an all-star ledge. Oh, so here's another. I'm just being. Oh, and then this guy will also appear. I don't know if I'll show you anything else yet, but there'll be variations on your existing classics, but I will say there isn't a new small concave. Who wants to guess why? Can the chat guess why while I get this other piece?
Sure, chat, go ahead and enter why you think there will not be a new small concave.
I should say trifecta small concave. Where is that?
Trifecta small concave to you, sir.
Yeah.
Dab 1800 says tree stump plugins? ? Finley Shard says can't trifecta the concave.
Boom, that Finley. Where did Finley say they live? Where were we gonna get them?
UK, right?
What?
UK.
Oh, that's right. That's the problem. Yeah, that Finley. He's on the. It's a he, right? Am I making this up?
No. Finley's a he. Yeah,
okay.
you got it. And then he runs a LARP. That's what they're called.
Oh yes. God.
Yeah.
I have to go take a trip to the UK and play Finley's LARP.
If you don't mind paying for like large suitcases, I would not mind getting shoved in one of those to go to the UK as well.
Well, it's already like 40 pounds of armor, and then then throw you in there. What the heck? We'll just make it happen. Is this not even the right list? Oh, it is. Yeah. So there's no this. There isn't really, like, we could have removed like a tiny little chunk, but there basically wasn't enough space to remove. It didn't really buy us anything. So there isn't a new small concave corner, but there's something cooler. I'm not gonna show you what that is because it's like it might be my favorite new escarpment. But it's amazing. Anyway, so the escarpments are they're very mountains friendly. They're meant to play nicely with the Aranthor and the existing escarpments. I'm gonna show these guys. So we're gonna have we have this have generated some. We got some interesting banks here. Here's another. Here was a real design challenge. I don't even have the right bank for that. I can show it with this one. So with these banks, in order to make this look good in mountain, it's not so hard because the mountain stuff can be really flat. But for the forest, like you really need to do some verticality to make it work, right? There's mounds of leaves, there's whatever. Like it really needs some bits. So the challenge was originally, I think I've modded them all. I don't know if they're the original ones. Originally, it was supposed to sort of slant out, and then you would have to flip the piece. Oh, I have it here. This one is the original design, right? So you'd pop the thing off, and then but it was overhanging that way, so it really looked much better flipped that way. But the problem was you couldn't really make a good-looking forest thing that was perfectly flat here, and then went up against this and look good like that, because you wanted to be able to sort of go up and do, you need a little verticality to play. So what we ended up doing was doing a kind of a hint of an undercut on here, which looks like it's kind of eroded by the water, which let the ledges be, I don't know if you can see it, they're slanting this way and then nook under this thing, so this becomes the top and the dead side is actually on the bottom, not on the back, so that they can look good. You have some cool verticality on them, and they'll nestle under there, whatever. But I think the mountain ones are two-sided. Can't remember. Oh. But anyway, so that was a fun little design challenge. You can see I actually had to cut. I originally had this slanting the other way, and then I had to cut a bit and glue it on. You can see a bunch of these actually. Yeah, I changed I reversed the angle.
I'm just making like the mold or like the sculpt for that to be on too was a whole.
Oh, the armatures were bonkers, right? Yeah, these were the crazy, right? They were vertical, right? Weren't they?
Yeah, we had to 3D print it, glue it to wood. 3D printer wasn't working, so then we had to. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, so we did some really cool 3D printed armatures for some of these because it's very specific. It has to fit a lot of weird stuff, and then it had to fit, and the sculpt had to be able to fit. You wanted to be able to fit the sculpts, like the the pieces together. But when you attach the the armature and the clay is attached to wood while you're sculpting it, so you needed to be able to put these two together, like while you're sculpting it. So it was like there were some design challenges in like being able to sort of armature these up for sculpting and make them able to nook together so you could test the fit, because the fit's really crucial. But anyway, so we're gonna have these. We'll have some interesting ledge pieces to do some cool negative space stuff. / also just good for transitioning up one more layer or whatever. But there's already, there's a ton of. This was our bestseller in Caverns Deep. This bank set, because they are just fantastic. They're great for everything. But people are gonna be really annoyed if there's some forest banks that are like this and forest banks like this, like they don't play together. So we're gonna have these little guys, which are gonna be little MVPs. These are some lookers. They got a lot of writing on them. So it's a really simple little piece, and essentially it transitions you from regular banks to these little trifecta banks, something like that. So you can play with these in line with your other banks and just give you all sorts of variation. These are also really good if you just want to peter out your banks, like if you just want them to kind of end. It's like a really nice gradual end or a gentle swell. Also, you can just put two of them together for another alternate straight. If you want to change up straight, you could even, if you want to do a straight with your other trifectas, you can do two of them in a row like that to do an alternate straight with your trifectas. I think these guys are going to be some MVP little heavy lifters. You can also even sort of fake a corner with them if you want. They're going to be super useful and let you play with these. Oh, because also they play with your swamp banks also, right? So these can transition you with your swamp banks. Also, you can use them with the waterfall if you want to transition out or sort of wide the bottom of the waterfall. These could fit. Like, I put it away. What am I thinking?
Nerd Botchery would like to know if this will be part of Thanksgiving.
He's the best. Yeah, this would be the main course, I think. Right? Well, these are the appetizers, the little trifecta banks, and then you could do something like that, and then widen out. And, I don't know. So these will be some super useful utility pieces. Good all around. All right, so those are the basic. Those are the basic things. I'm trying to think what other. Oh, this was the other. Let's see. This. I think is that where it fits. What am I thinking? What's I'm going to show? I don't know. There's some stacking geometry I'd sorted out so these could go up really nice and clean. I can't remember what it was. I needed the other. My having mocks half at the office, half here. It's like just all over the place. But we'll get there. Any questions on the escarpments thus far?
My papa said the word cave. I think he just wanted to see the cave playing with the other pieces.
Oh, this, yeah.
And let's see.
My papa.
Papa!
So the interesting thing to note about this guy is, oh man, why is this off by so much? This so this baseline piece without is oh man, that's different height.
Will it play with burrow? Says Capital 74.
Yeah, you could definitely feed a burrow out of this.
Anything to make it easier to do trail/switchbacks up the mountain /escarpment, says a Thorisdale.
Oh, you have to wait for that.
Finley Shard says, will these new embankments be able to be used upside down?
Where is the... So you can feed your burrows. Will feed really nicely. I can feed really nicely into your burrows.
Cool.
Cave. So the interesting thing about this guy is it's one floor height short of the rest of these bits, so you can either use like these guys to transition, whoop, something like that, or annoyingly my foam is slightly these are slightly too high and this is slightly too low, right? I think we're at, yeah, man, these are way high. This is, yeah, it's like 53 millimeters, and I think this is like, it's 38. What is it? Yeah, it's about 38. So we're off by a couple millimeters, but the real ones will be random. I could do it with the actual escarpments a little better. So you could do like yay and yay. Use these little guys to get you on there, or you can use this on. Here's a fun one. Put this on the existing floor and do a thing like that. That line here. Open up your cave.
Knight of the Phoenix would like to know why we went with squares over hex. There is a very heated debate with his group.
Why we went with squares over hexes outside?
I think the grid, yeah.
Because D&D and Pathfinder designed to primarily to work with the 1-inch grid. I use hex for mapping outside, but it seemed like trying to go to a hexagonal base would have just been bonkers. With like it would none of our stuff would play. Everything else is not hex based, so it would have been just a real train wreck trying to get all the hex stuff to play with the squares and vice versa. We're gonna be probably squares for life, unfortunately, or fortunately. But unfortunately for the Gloomhaven and Frosthaven folks, or the BattleTech folks, or what else uses hexes that
I think there's a few sci-fi games that use hexes because you can kind of travel
yeah.
up, down, around everywhere.
Yeah, that's why it's easy for your outdoor maps and whatnot. But for the tactical combat, we're still in the grid. We're really square. What else was I gonna show in these? That was
Were you gonna show the peg system, maybe?
The wahoo?
Like how you can insert rocks and etc.
Yeah, Well, I'll show you that one. So we have those little this little guy that was on the waterfall. Right, he fits nice in the waterfall. Also, if it's anywhere you see that little red dot, that'll be a little horizontal connector. You can pop this guy on there. Yeah, the little cantilevered, deadly zone. Right, we like the hanging. That one of the design principles of the mountains was precarious, cantilevered danger. It's a pretty neat place to put your little rabbit.
1979 Dragos says it's hit to be a square.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that song.
Let's see. What else are we gonna show?
Also, congrats on not clapping so far.
I think I clapped once. I think it was while you were on the phone. So, do I want to show? All right, let's get. What time is it? Do I have time?
It is 9:02.
Oh man, shall we run out of time for beans? I don't know.
We're close to the end, but I think people are willing to stay as long as you're willing to show a little beans. I don't like saying that, actually. Yeah.
Do I show? I have this. I don't know. These aren't so. These aren't so exciting, but we can show them. Let's see. All right. All right. We'll show you a couple.
Oh, what about the thing that I sent to you on Slack, Bean?
Thing that you sent to me on Slack.
You asked me to remind you about something that Aaron took a photo of. Maybe you didn't get the reminder.
Oh, that's not really a bean yet though. Yeah, the side by sides. Yes, we should show those. Hey, I should put a red hole in this thing. The side by side, the Aaron Thor, the cleaned up paint scheme for the Aaron Thors. I mean, for the Dread Hollow. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course I didn't download it. Remind me to put a hole in there. Yes, we should show. Well, we were trying to show them on the split screen, and last weekend it was just like a mess. Like you couldn't really see anything. The new ones looked terrible, and it was like it's a mess. But we do have photos of it. Maybe I'll take a second download them. Should I show these? Yeah, what the heck? We're here. They're not. All right. So these are. So here's something that we kind of really always needed in Aaron Thor. These are some. We're gonna do Aaron Thor ledges. So they are. I don't know if you've ever been building with Iron Thorn. You get stuck with like you're just having to use the little tiny ledge wedge, or these little guys. So we're gonna make we have a series of ledges that will be fit to the existing pieces. And so you can gives you lots of possibility for going up one floor height or down or negative space. All right, so we get this guy, we get this guy, we get this guy. There's the little guy. Right, so these are. Right, so these will let you transition more smoothly up to if you've got a floor at this height or whatever, you can. Boom, boom, boom. Let's put that one here. Yeah, we can mask something like that. Would be cleaner. You can put them down below. Things you can use them for doing a negative space build. If you want, I don't know if you've ever tried to do Iron Thorn negative space builds, but it gets pretty frustrating. Just using this one little guy over and over again. How did I just have the guy? Right, using this guy over and over again. Now you have some options, including a little 1x, because sometimes you want to just be 1 inch.
True that. I, in Dwarven Forge scale, am exactly 1 inch tall.
That's amazing. I was like, it's a fact.
It is a fact.
Yeah.
So if there's giants that are, scaled up to be basically how tall I am, I look like an inch to them.
Wow. So you are 25mm scale, and these are double-sided. Toby was just working on these the other day. Now Nina has them. They're gonna be good. Useful little pieces that give you a lot of Iron Thor versatility, give you some negative space ability, gradual ups and downs. Yeah, it's something we desperately needed in Iron Thor world. All right, well let's show those let's show those pictures of the paint schemes and get out of here, right? Because it's 9 o'clock.
Great.
We showed enough. Maybe that'll generate a lot of questions. I don't know. People have lots of questions.
While questions are filtering in, I'll go ahead and remind everybody that if you would like to stay up to date on when we are going to launch our Kickstarter/Kickstarter updates, all of that jazz, we have an email subscription list on our website. I just posted the link in chat, dwarvenforge.com/wildlands. It's where we do all the emails. That's where you're going to hear from us about the Kickstarter, keep up to date. Also, don't forget to enter all of our giveaways. We have one on our Dwarven Forge official fan group. We have one on all of our social media for castle builds. And then we just love giving stuff out. Do we have any other giveaways? Am I missing anything?
No.
I don't think so.
All right, let's look at. How do I do this? Well, we're going into the wildlands here.
Aha. It's a good photo, though. I could stare at this for a long time.
Well, you're in luck.
Okay, great. I got nothing else going on. Let's see. Is there any update on the Pathfinder-related pre-order sets? The name escapes me at the moment, says Orion Noir. Oh, really?
Alright, so, yes, the update was supposed to go out. I forgot to approve it today. So I think it'll go out tomorrow. Is tomorrow Thursday? Yeah, it can go out tomorrow. It's going on it'll be on the tail end. Plaguestone will be on the tail end of Hellscape. It's probably shipping in, July or August, I think. Um, and what else do we have to say about it? I don't know. I think
It's hard to have a lot of info to update people on when everything's so unsure.
I know.
So we're going to update you as much as we can whenever possible about how things are proceeding along. Currently we're kind of at a standstill, but things are progressing.
All right, so there's so I don't know if everybody can see the we got
Whoa.
the old, yeah, that this mic stand is angry at me.
Sounds like
So
a Foley artist.
old paint scheme is on the left, new paint scheme is on the right. We basically eliminated a bunch of colors to make it so it would be more consistent. The factories had a hard time when they were shifting so many different colors, and it kind of makes the whole thing cleaner. You can see on the right, it's just like,
It's very rich. I love it.
yeah, it's just basically it's just the rocks, the trees, and the leaves with little red berries. And then if you want to, if you want to go in and pick out some of those other green plants, it's really easy to just go in, choose a color of green, choose a color of yellow, or whatever, and just go in and pop in a little highlights yourself. Um, let's see. Here's the cave mouse entrance. We've got more. It's got more of the red mushrooms. It's got, I don't know, it's just got good taste from Aaron is what it has.
Yes.
I want to find the escarpments. I think it's this one.
There's a lot more depth to the new scheme as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be way more consistent across the boards. Here's an escarpment. And then here, let me show you it's the big mambo, which is the side by side with the old one. So the good news is, all the stuff will work together. Compatibility. It's compatible with the old. Check this out. All right, so this is old and new together in one build. So you can see the big 6x6 floor in the lower left is old. The other two 6x6 floors are new. The escarpment on the left is old. The escarpments in the middle are new. The cave entrance on the right is old, but the topper on it is new, but the pieces on either side of it are new. So it should all play nicely together with your existing Dread Hollow bits. And mostly it's just going to be more consistent. Like the Dread Hollow stuff's all over the place. The factory paint scheme is all over the place. So the new one will be more consistent. It's going to be easier for them to do. I think it looks better. And it was sort of our matching point. Now we're sort of matching back all the new stuff to that. Like Aaron was having a really hard time trying to have our new stuff match the old stuff because it was all over the place. So this is a consistent thing that we can match everything to. That I think it just looks cleaner, and I don't know. I think it's good. It's just better across the boards. And once again, if you want to bring back a bunch of those other crazy colors and stuff, it's easy. It's it does not take long to just go in there and pop a few, throw a few yellow leaves in, or orange leaves, or blue berries, or whatever.
Well, it has a really nice contrast between the brown and the green now too. Like
Yeah.
you can tell where the dirt is more, I think, in the new paint scheme than you could
Yeah.
in the old one.
Yeah, no, she really Aaron labored over figuring out like how to get this, because it just drove her crazy how inconsistent everything was. It was just like it was not it was very upsetting, right? She spent a really long time trying to make a really good paint scheme, and it was just wasn't living up to it. Here's like the 3x3 tile.
Neophoria says, I prefer this. It looks like the forest I live near with how the flora is.
Oh, good. Well, that's what we were going for, the forest near you. The forest next door. What else? One more floor. can't see this guy yet. All right, last one. Yeah, the dirt's better. Everything's it's just cleaner. It's just easier.
It looks like the old scheme was just like if it was the new scheme, but it was washed a ton of times and then dried a ton of times.
And just sort of dabs of some random colors or whatever. There was just too many things. We were trying to hit too many notes, and they're like it's easier to just do less things better. So anyway, there's schemes. Boom.
Bondhead would like to know, would it be possible for Dwarven Forge to post original paint scheme pictures after the Kickstarter so others could replicate the reference paint?
What original paint scheme of what?
I think this on the left, basically just photos of what we had initially gotten from the factory, though it is a little bit inconsistent. It might be nice to just have something to look at.
Right. Here's really what we should do is we should do Aaron's original Paint Masters, which was the original intention, because the original paint scheme she did for this was stunning, but it ended up just not being replicatable enough. So if we post the original paint scheme of that, if people want to be inspired and kind of duplicate it themselves, well, you know what you can do? We have a video for that, right? The Joy of Dwarven Painting.
Yes, we do. I will find. I'm hacking.
Yeah, you're hacking in at every turn.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think where are we? Oh yeah, 9:15. We are good and late. That's great. So let's call it a show, right? We came, we saw, we conquered. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Keep sending us your questions and your feedback and your thoughts. We want to hear how we can make the show great for you. Give us some ideas for shows you'd like to see. Just give us all give us your feedback. Hop on the Discord, hop on the forums, hop on the Kickstarter comments, hop on our Facebook page, whatever. Hit us on social media. Tell us what you're thinking. We it's really fun to interact with you guys, and you've got tons of good ideas. I will be back next Monday with Building of the Build of the Month, and then every Wednesday here on the Anvil. And Monday the 18th is going to be a live game. Oh, I did my clap. Live game is going to be pretty ridiculous. You can see Mace.
Friday.
You can see this disembodied baby beholder head not die. Or maybe she'll die. I don't know. Anything could happen.
Baby holder.
Baby holder. What were you going to say?
Then Friday also we have a stream, 6 p.m. Me and Hammy going to town on some minis. Actually, it's just hamster, but
and just some. It's ice. He's going to town on some ice terrain.
Yeah. Some PS2 ice.
Ice. And let us know about the pre-order if you're kind of excited about that. And I don't know what else. Do you have to let us know about anything else? I don't know.
If you want updates on Wildlands, I can't stress this enough. We will tell you in chat, but also you should subscribe to the newsletter. Yeah. It's there for a reason.
Yeah. And watch Stefan's Lost Odyssey game. Should be pretty good.
Yeah.
On the 10th. It's Sunday. I have a calendar.
It's the 7th?
Yeah.
No,
10th. It's the 10th.
No, the 10th is the Lost Odyssey. The 7th is the...
Somebody's basement? Living room?
Yeah.
What is it? The... Something.
Jasper Game Day.
Game Day. I don't know why I thought it was somebody's basement. That was... Yeah. All right. Well, that's... I think that's more than enough of riffing and raffing. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and I hope you're staying safe out there, and we'll see you next week. That's it. Dwarf Forge out. Back to the Anvil. Back to the Building of the Build of the Month. Bye. Good night.
Bye.